Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Madhani, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi.
That's me.
And the bougie Tony O.
Morning, boys. I don't get bougie.
Look at you. Look at you. Everything about you is bougie. You are a fancy man.
I think now you've just run out of things to say. Because that...
Anyone who has ever met you in real life will attest to it. You do got a bit of that bougie about you.
Okay. No, I don't think so. But, added to the list of...
Just a man who appreciates the finer things in life.
Yeah.
It just looks like he's in a bit of a mood. You know what I mean?
I know. He's a little upset. A little annoyed, a little peeved.
I am very peeved that I had to do this freaking podcast this early in the morning when, I have the day off. But, yeah.
Well, some of us have to work for a living, Tonio.
We just really want to chat about Arsenal this early. We had to.
We can have a chat. Why not? I got things to say.
Speaking of the finer things in life, I guess Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. I had a lot of fun watching this game. This game was absolutely mad.
Sure you did.
Yeah. What a great Easter gift for us.
I think this might be the best fixture. Liverpool Arsenal might be the best fixture in the Premier League. Like, generally, if you really think about it, the number of crazy games that we've had in the Premier League at that ground is nuts. We had the Arshavin, the 4-4. We've had several 3-3s, 2-2s, like ridiculous results. And I think I told you guys last week that this is the one ground left that I'm like, if we could win here, I'm like, we'd win the league, because it's always mental for us. And
for the first half an hour, it didn't look like a ground that was troubling them at all. And then they just proceeded to, I think, lose their minds.
Yeah. So I was listening, funny enough, to the Anfield rap on Friday just to get, because Neil Atkinson's actually a pretty good, he's got a pretty good football mind. He's, for anyone with a little bit of a Liverpool interest, he's a good listen. I recommend it. And he spoke about the psychology of Liverpool in the past week. They've had City, Chelsea, and Arsenal, a crazy run, historically anyway. And the way he looked at it... Yeah, I didn't want to say too much, but
we'll say plenty.
Yeah, he looked at it that Chelsea away, Liverpool typically draw that, so he decided to rest. I'm talking club decided to rest all their players for that, because they no longer have the players to play this all-out press that clubs loves to play against Arsenal twice a week. So he rested everyone for this game. So I was expecting what came in the second half. I was just expecting it to start from minute 1. But for the first 40 minutes, Arsenal, or 39 minutes, whatever, Arsenal were really good. And then our fullbacks decided to piss about. Zinchenko was feeling himself a bit too much. Ben White was feeling himself a bit too much. They didn't respect the opponent. And... we got caught on the counterattack by a really stupid goal just before halftime. And after that, that second half, I don't think there's enough time for me to really talk about that second half.
We can get into it, because it could have been so much worse for Arsenal, but it could also have been so much worse for Liverpool, because Arsenal had their chances as well. But Salah, this is the second penalty in a row that he's put off target. My personal favorite little clip from this one is Jurgen Klopp deciding to face the stands instead of
that was
watching
brilliant.
penalty live.
That was brilliant.
And then do a little celebratory fist bump. and then turning around and realizing
That's-
that he's missed it.
That's embarrassing. What did he see? Like, what did he see that made him think Salah scored it? I don't understand. Like, yeah.
I assume there were some fans
Yeah.
in that section who probably thought it went in because it snaked just past the post.
Was it just?
And he was
I-
looking at
It
that.
was just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. I don't know. I think half of our players just didn't show up in that second half. The three Gabbies were good. Ramsdale was, I mean, he's got to be man of the match.
Ramsdale
Oh,
was outstanding.
That save he had on
That
Salah,
save
yeah.
at the end.
His footwork on the saves he makes, Ramsdale, is perfect. Like, the way he adjusts to the deflection was crazy good. Like, just watching his footwork, he takes a little hop before taking off. It's excellent. Keeper of the season, do you think? I think so, but
He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Him and Pope, probably, right? Probably the two guys in the contention.
I've seen
Just
Pope
giving
throw
you-
a couple in his net, though.
I mean, just given
recent
the
weeks.
records, I think that's
Yeah,
the thing, right?
Pope has a clean sheet record at the moment, I think. They might be sharing it, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's sharing it with David De Gea.
Really?
Really? Oh, yeah, because you got a clean sheet this week.
We'll either keep a clean sheet or we'll concede like 5. There's no in between with us.
Or 7. Yeah.
Yeah, or
that was just
seven.
once. We normally cap it around 5.
Yeah. Once is enough. You don't need more than one.
There was that huge opportunity like late in the game. It goes right on the goal line. I forgot who had that chance for Liverpool.
Konate.
Konate.
Was it
yeah.
Konate? Like, oh my god, you have to score that one. I know. I think Ramsdale gets a hand to it or something like that, but I'm sorry, that's a chance.
It's an awkward height for him. He has to. Yeah.
He ends up like chesting it towards goal.
Yeah.
Because of the bounce and the height. It's a difficult. Like, you put it on target. I think with that kind of bounce, it's hard to do much more with that one.
A striker
But again, a really good stop.
A good-
a good striker would.
would
Probably
adjust
be able
his
to do
body.
more.
We should have scored on the counter-attack. We
You
should have.
should've.
Yeah,
Like,
Martinelli did
finally
not.
got something wrong in the game.
He was, yeah, Liverpool's his best opponent by far. I thought it was smart from Klopp to go to a back three, to avoid Martinelli being isolated with Trent, as often as possible. He left Konate on that side. Martinelli still had a lot of joy down that left-hand side. Yeah, I don't know. I initially thought Odegaard had a good first half. I've watched it back. He was pretty bad throughout, actually. He just had moments. But it's weird. We started the game so well, and we were building up play down the left-hand side and isolating Saka with the switch against Robertson, and he was destroying Robertson. And for some reason, we just decided, yeah, we're feeling ourselves. We're playing really well, and yeah, let's I don't know, mock Liverpool or
Got
try
a little
and
bit
piss.
cocky, right?
Yeah,
He just got a little bit cocky.
Zinchenko and White have previous for this. White should not have been emptying his hole on that first goal, leaving Holding to run out with Jota. That's just stupid. And then
You know what? You said White should not have been emptying his hole, and I was very concerned about where it was going.
okay, yeah.
There's something you didn't expect to hear.
It's just like, I don't know. I don't like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Ozer thinks I'm bougie. You see where his mind's at. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And then was it
It's an objectively funny sentence.
Zinchenko getting magged by Trent for the second goal?
Rubbish defending, man.
Yeah, that was
Zinchenko
terrible.
Like it's not
crying on
even.
the
It's
sidelines
not even.
after.
Yeah,
like,
brought him to tears.
it's not even a bit of skill. He just kicks it and go. Yeah, like it's good play. It's just, and Tierney is right there on the sideline, ready to come on. And he needed. When he made that crazy Kiwior sub, that made things really exciting for a few minutes. Yeah. It needed to be Kiwi or Tierney and Trossard. It needed to be those three at once and just commit to the back three. I don't get the point in having Zinchenko there if you've decided you're going to like shut up shop. Like Zinchenko's not. That's not his skill set. Tierney should have come on earlier, but yeah.
I mean, the clip of Zinchenko crying on the sidelines
He's
after
always
getting subbed off.
he's extremely emotional.
It's
man. Like as a,
that's the kind of thing I'm like, if things do go wrong from here for Arsenal, like I think that photo's gonna come back.
Yeah. So it's 6 points now, right? The lead over City, right? 1 game in hand for
It
City.
is 6 points, game in hand for City, and a game between City and Arsenal at the Etihad.
This
still to
is
go. It is
so
now
spicy.
officially spicy.
Yeah.
it wasn't spicy before.
Delicious.
I mean,
It wasn't spicy enough. I enjoy a bit of heat.
this way, if City wins out, then it comes down to the last game of the season for Arsenal to do it, and that's that's exciting. I like that.
What? No, I don't think that's right.
Like you know what I mean, right?
No, if City
wins
win
out,
out,
they
they're
win the league.
ahead of Arsenal on goal difference.
Yeah, that
And they
doesn't come
probably
down
win
to
the league
anything.
then.
No, Arsenal still need to lose one more game. Right?
Tommy.
They play City. Tommy. If City win out, and
Oh
City have a
yeah.
game
Sorry, the
against
goal
Arsenal,
difference. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, the goal difference. Yeah, it's pretty similar though, your goal difference though, right?
It's not. I mean, they are ahead, right? By like what, 7?
Three goals.
There's no way that's right.
75 to 72 goals scored. I don't know the goal. Okay, goal against 29-27. It's similar, Tony. It's not that far. A couple games can change
It's
that.
5 goals, mate. It's
Yeah, 5 goals. Couple games can
And
change
they've
that.
got a game less. Look, if City win out, if they win all their games, they're going to win the league. And deservedly so, right? Like, honestly, if they can win, how many games on the trot would that be? They're already on a run of 5. So that would be, what? 14 at least.
14.
Yeah. So if they win 14 games in a row, congrats to them. Like we're not matching that. So
Yeah, that's.
I don't
And
think
it
they
seems
will.
like,
but-
but you don't see. I see. I'm expecting they will. I think everyone's expecting. Oh yeah, City's just going to win out here, but they still have Bayern to play in the Champions League. That may distract them a little bit and give them some, tired legs here or there. Who knows? So yeah, it's
An FA Cup semi-final.
FA
coming
Cup
up as well.
semi-final as well. So yeah, there's still a lot of games left for City, but I fully expect them to still win out in the Premier League, all their games, regardless of how they do elsewhere.
I am just very excited for that City Arsenal game now.
Yeah, City Arsenal.
That should be
When is that?
very fun to watch for a neutral.
When is that, Tony?
26th. So it's in 2
26th.
weeks.
Oh yeah, 26th. That's right.
It's on a
Oh yeah,
Wednesday.
isn't that the midweek game? Yeah, 3 p.m. Yeah.
Motherfucker, I am traveling during that.
Uh-oh.
Curb your excitement, man.
Yeah, there goes your
yeah,
excitement.
TVs in Antigua. Find one. Well, we should chat about City a little bit, unless we got more to say about Liverpool Arsenal.
Yeah, we had a little ref violence after the game, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I almost completely forgot that. It was at half time.
Oh, was it halftime? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, linesman chucking an elbow into the face of Andy Robertson, which is just... I don't know if I've ever seen that before, except for the one Mexican referee, I think, who needs someone in the balls last week.
Wait,
I saw that,
in the Mexican League?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
I think he was booking a player was getting in his face, and he just need him in the balls.
Robertson does put hands on him. Like you can't elbow the guy, but like, yeah. I don't.
I mean, that's probably the justification that
PGMOL is investigating. Let's see what
that
happens
makes
with that.
perfect sense for them to investigate their own official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's the head? Howard Webb. He'll probably just send a letter of apology to Robertson. Is that what will happen?
No, I think the ref's gonna get. He'll
get a
get
suspension.
suspended. But right now, the whole cloud around refereeing is not great, um, both in terms of
we'll get to the
quality and treatment as well. Like,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, we can get to
We'll
City
definitely touch on that
playing.
later with the Spurs game. But let's talk Southampton 1, Man City 4. Have we run out of things to say about Erling Haaland?
He's a clinical striker, isn't he? How many goals is he on now? 34. I have no idea.
I think
30.
He's at 30 in the league.
Okay,
Yeah.
is he? How is he just at 30?
Yeah.
He's got like 40 something for the season. Just even that second goal in particular. Just,
yeah.
you can't be that big, that fast, and that athletic. Like that's not okay. Man that big shouldn't be able to flip in the air.
There are people
That's all I'm saying. It's not fair.
saying that City. I mean, we've all said that City are not playing to his strengths. I mean, if City aren't playing to his strengths, I say don't play to his strengths then. Because
Yeah, don't.
honestly, like
It's scary enough.
30 goals in 29 league. Actually, it's not even 29 because he's missed.
27.
Yeah, 27. I mean, Kyrie Kane's got 23 goals. You know,
I know he's having a good
It's
season.
like he's having a
scoring.
great
Yeah.
season, sensational season. To add, Haaland has 5 assists in there. It's just, yeah. Remember when there was supposed to be a debate about who's better between Haaland and Nunez at the start of the season? Yeah, that's gone great. Yeah,
Oh, which one's going to be the better signing?
yeah.
Yeah, City have hit their best form of the season at the exact time that they needed to. Yeah, I mean Haaland, who just came off injury, right? He had a great performance. I thought Jack Grealish was pretty darn good this game. He's continuing his good form.
He was.
Grealish is playing the best football of his City career.
Oh, for sure, yeah. De Bruyne too just keeps delivering quality balls in the box for Haaland to finish. Yeah, they're purring. They're doing it. They're just where they need to be. And I think what was it? I think Pep came out and said something about Walker. I think in his pre-match conference, say, "Yeah, Walker can't play in my system anymore," or something like that. Did you guys see that interview or something?
I didn't see it, but his career is like, yeah. I'm not surprised. He's not serious, man. Walker, I'm sorry. Like, no,
Pep had enough of the hookers.
yeah, it's just like, yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna touch that. There's a reason he's on the bench. So, yeah.
He's going to end up the way of Cancelo at this rate. He's shipped out.
Yeah,
No, I guess Cancelo's is just a loan for now, but
yeah, he'll be back. But we'll see. And then Southampton with the loss further kind of roots.
I mean,
them
this is one that they probably
they chalked up already.
you mark it down as a loss
Yeah.
beforehand. This is not the game that's going to get them relegated. There's so many games coming up against like teams around them in the table or teams that are still in that relegation scrap. When they lose those ones are going to get them relegated. All right, so let's move on to Wolves 1, Chelsea 0. Frankie's at the wheel, isn't he, Tommy?
Do we have to?
I mean, at some point, yeah. Might as well get it out of the way now.
Yeah. It's. I remember. I don't know. Someone sent the news. Was it me? Maybe I saw the rumors that midweek we were looking at Lampard as an interim. And I thought for sure a joke. No, there's no way this is real. Like
It's
He was at
kind
the
of
ground.
shit that I would make up in the chat.
He was at the
Exactly,
ground,
right?
Yeah.
and I was just like, nah.
Tommy, did you see the rumor that apparently Todd Bowley was
Oh,
talking
my
to
days.
noted West Ham fan James Corden
I
about
believe
the
it.
appointment, and Corden suggested Lampard?
I believe it.
Anyone else, I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah.
But I would believe that Todd Bowley is taking advice from one of the most hated comedians in the UK.
He probably thought he was a Chelsea fan. I bet you he thought he was a
I wouldn't be
Chelsea fan.
surprised.
Yeah. And
I
will
did
say,
not see that. No.
funniest thing James Corden has done in years.
I did not see that, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least. I when the season started, I kind of thought. Well, I shouldn't say when it started. When we hired Potter, I kind of think like Bowley and his backroom staff, or if there is any backroom staff at this point. I don't even know if there is. I kind of thought they had an idea. They had some maybe.
Yeah, I remember you were optimistic.
They had some sort of plan. You know what I mean? I was optimistic. I feel like they have a path that they want to take, and it kind of maybe it wasn't everything. They're gonna make mistakes along the way. Now I firmly believe, no idea what they're doing. They have no path.
You just arrived at this conclusion now.
There's no planning. There's no planning for the future. Man. You know what I mean? They thought he thought he was being a genius by signing these long contracts and going around FPP. But you know what? I feel like that's going to become a real big problem for us in the summer. You know what I mean?
What do you mean it's going to become a real big? It's already a real big problem.
They thought
you couldn't fit all your players into the changing room. They were changing in the fucking hallways, Tommy.
Yeah, I read about that. Yeah, there was no room in the change room. Yeah, so I feel like he thought he was being a genius, and it's all going to be smothered and smooth or smothered in a way that it worked out. Now we can't even get the coach that we want. I feel like we are in for either. It looks like it was either Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique, and I know Luis Enrique was reported that he actually put in his resume and had a presentation to the Chelsea board about why sort of stuff. Anyways, but I don't know where that went. I have a feeling because from what I heard, Nagelsmann has not actually been sacked by Bayern. He's kind of been put on leave, so I feel like they don't want to send him to Chelsea before they play us, or we play them, I should say.
They're still paying him, right? So
yeah, they're still paying him. He's still kind of on the
books.
books.
He gets a new job, I think.
Yeah, and then why would we want to give him? We're playing Chelsea potentially, right? Why would? Anyways, that's beyond the point.
Do you think he would go there to Chelsea?
I feel like he, out of all the jobs potentially available, and for him,
how much did Potter get for his 6 months at Chelsea? If you include the severance,
yeah, that's
because you guys gave Potter
million?
a pretty long contract as well. It was like a 4 or 5 year contract,
and it was 12 million a year, I believe. I think in that range. So, yeah. You know what? If anything, I think the Chelsea job is actually very appealing to managers.
I don't think so, man.
No, Tony, listen.
Guys, look at everything Todd Bowley is doing. Yeah. Who wants to work under that?
Let me finish. All right? Because you're going to be making bank. Great severance package after a year or two. Right? So you're going to go in there and you're going to get paid. That's all right, the benefit.
So you're the MLS of managerial jobs, is what you're describing.
Well, sure. Okay. But I feel like, right, but now...
Okay, bring Jose back. Back. Round 3.
You know what? They probably would be like, hey, this guy was successful here in the past, and maybe we'll go from. But now it's like, get Lampard into a manager. It's like, it just makes zero sense.
I don't know how
they're punting this season.
I don't know how you can justify anything, how anyone can justify anything that has happened this season at Chelsea. None of it makes sense. And everyone was trying to do this mental gymnastics about how he's bringing some kind of innovation to English football and with all these long contracts and long-term project. And it's like, you have Lampard as your coach now. Frank, no one in the Premier League was going to touch Lampard again. No one.
No one.
He was done. How have you given this guy a job? It's crazy. He looked embarrassed. Did you watch his press conference? He looked embarrassed to be there. He was like, I can't believe it. I'm as surprised as you guys.
He was supposed to be commentating on the Champions League tie between Real Madrid.
He was a week away from being the new Gary Neville. He was done. He'd been Valencia, and somehow you've dragged him back from the dead. It's amazing.
I don't know where that idea came from. It's so stupid, honestly. We don't even need to talk about how stupid of a game it was too. Chelsea were shit. We did nothing.
There's not much to talk about in terms of the game. Wolves scored a worldie. Nothing else happened for 90 minutes. Chelsea, genuinely, and I say this as someone who unfortunately watched this game,
Yeah,
I
same.
would like a refund on my hour and a half. Thank you very much. Yeah, for once, the best part about a game was the ads at halftime.
Yeah, it was atrocious, and we have Real Madrid.
They didn't even create chances.
Oh no! Like
At least under Potter, like for as bad as they were, there were chances there for Havertz and Mudryk and all of them to fuck up. And I mean, Mudryk just looks like someone. Someone described him to me as Chernobyl Dan James.
Oh,
and
that's not right.
it's not okay, but I laughed.
But you laughed.
Oh, especially it's very apt as well. That's the problem. Yeah.
The moment he was described as that to me, and that was before this game. When he came on and I watched him, I was just like, yeah, he's playing the exact same way.
Oh, you know what else I remembered? Koulibaly, for being such a big guy, is bullied way too easily.
He's not that big.
On off the ball.
He's 6'1". He's pretty small for a center back.
Well, it's just pretty big to me.
He looks
I'm
pretty
5'7".
big. Yeah,
I see someone 6'1". I'm
well.
like, hey, that's a big guy.
Dude was getting bullied off the ball. But it's just like,
Yeah.
at this point, man, why even play the guy? But we have our thank God, I think we're safe at this point in terms of points because we have City, United.
Lampard has a way of dragging teams into that relegation battle. I wouldn't call you guys safe yet. Are you at 40 points yet?
Was it 39?
Oh.
Wait, 38?
Not
39.
safe yet.
Yeah, wait,
Not
one more
safe
point.
yet.
So listen. Out of these fixtures, City, United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford. We have those teams to play.
You play most of the top half.
I know. Screw.
I will say you will absolutely draw with United because that's every United Chelsea game.
Yeah, I think that was like a 1-1 or 0-0.
That's always a 1-1.
Yeah,
easy 1-1.
So
Put that
there's
down
our
already.
there's
So you'll
our
get to
40
40.
points.
You'll get
Yeah.
to 40.
So we'll be safe, and then you know what? Like honestly, at this point, I had a little bit of optimism again with when Potter was still in charge that we may actually do something against Madrid. It'll be competitive. Now it's done. It's over. There's literally nothing left to watch in this season for me, which sucks. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's fair. You're starting to see how I felt last year.
This
When you
is
get to the last few
brutal.
weeks of the season, you're just
Yeah.
like, I fucking hate everything.
There's no point.
With United, it was sad. With Chelsea, it's funny. That's the difference. It's just funny, but yeah.
We had the decency to be sixth.
Yeah. Oh, you were sixth. That's impressive.
Sixth
actually.
place? No, that's not bad.
I'm as shocked as you are. Speaking of United, let's move on to them. They beat Everton 2-0. Just a very, very comfortable game.
It's pathetic from Everton.
Everton were
I didn't get it.
nowhere.
I don't get why they. It's like they just accepted they were going to lose. It was weird.
They were playing a very high line, and I'm not sure why.
They were playing a high line, but they didn't press. They didn't press, so...
It was somehow the gap between their defense and Ellis Sims, who was up top, was so massive. It was a cavernous gap. But then they were still a high line because they were consistently running in behind. United had 21 shots in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, we were just not clinical. But eventually got the second goal as well in there. It was McTominay and Martial got the goal, like Tommy said earlier. Particularly nice to see Martial scoring. Especially because Marcus Rashford pulled up with a groin injury. And now the alarm bells are ringing. I am stressed. I am panicked. I just want my sweet baby boy back. Initial scans seem to suggest that he will miss some games. Not sure how many yet. But our schedule just ramps up from here. Because we go into the Europa League quarterfinals against Sevilla. Then we're just playing consistently weekend, midweek.
Yeah, it's
Until
nice.
the heat death of the universe, apparently.
It's nice that you had Eriksen back.
Yeah, it was really good to see him
squad.
back.
Yeah.
Really good to see him back. We get Casemiro back as well. Now
that's
he's
right.
finally finished his suspension.
For how long?
Don't get sent
Yeah.
off again, for the love of God. But it's Rashford has been our goal scoring this season, so now it's gonna fall to everyone else to pick up the slack.
It's gonna fall to Martial.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone else.
We'll get maybe another game out of him.
Yeah.
Before inevitably something else snaps in his legs. So yeah, massive source of my stress. But it is nice, like I said earlier, to see David De Gea tied for the clean sheet lead on the season.
Yeah, shocked actually by that.
It's incredibly funny stat to me. We have a goal difference of like what, 7?
7, yeah.
Football is very stupid sometimes, but yeah, I don't have too much else to say about this game because it's just the moment we went 1-0 up, I was just like, hey, there was no point where I was very concerned.
Are you?
There was one. Everton did have one chance when they went through 1-on-1, but like,
I'm sorry, it was Sims. I feel really bad for this kid. He's not at the level. He's just not at the level, and week in, week out, he's playing these games and he looks.
He's Sims-sply not good enough.
That was terrible.
Are you still as concerned?
I got a smile out of Tommy.
Are you still as concerned about the top 4 as you were last week?
I felt
he watched
better than I did last week.
He watched Tottenham.
I was feeling better about it until the Rashford injury came through, and now I'm concerned again.
Okay.
Just because I don't trust Martial to stay fit and carry the scoring burden, and
the less said about Weghorst, the better. Okay, gotcha.
I like Weghorst, but he's not a good goal scorer.
No, definitely
I like
not.
him because he's got a passion kind of stuff about him. He's not a good goal scorer.
Yeah, well, I don't reckon Spurs still do it, so no change. United look to be in a good spot.
Let's talk about them now. If they keep getting helped by the refs like this, then they might, because they beat Brighton 2-1 in a game they had no right winning. Karu Mitoma should feel aggrieved, as should every fantasy owner of Karu Mitoma, i.e. me, because he should have won a penalty. The Højbjerg tackle, that's the most baffling one to me of the lot, that the Højbjerg challenge on him wasn't given as a penalty, because it is clear. It's so clear. And then you also he had a goal ruled out for handball, I think, when the ball hit him pretty high up.
Yeah,
and I didn't think that one was handball.
I think it was handball.
I
think it was handball? His reaction. He didn't seem confident that it was going to count. Right? He looked sheepish. On the replays, it didn't look that bad. And maybe if he was a bit more exuberant with his celebration, he might have gotten away with it. But
he has to do what Skamaka did early in the season, where he clearly handles the ball and then lobs a goalie.
To be fair, he was pretty sheepish as well. Skamaka, he was surprised that he got away with it, but
he celebrated big.
Yeah,
and then look sheepish afterwards. Mitoma needed to go bigger with the celebration initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had another one chalked off. It was Welbeck's that I think hit McAllister and then deflected.
That's not right.
That was
not right.
One.
I get that the rule is. I'm not even sure if it hit his hand, but if it did hit his hand, it's still not right. Because where's his hand supposed to go? It's tucked in right beside his body. It's yeah.
It definitely hit his hand, but I agree where it's he's not directing that. There's nothing purposeful, and his hands are by his side. I think that one should have and Lloris should have saved it regardless.
Should have, yeah.
Anyways.
But you can justify those calls. The Mitoma penalty,
the penalty one is just.
I don't get how that's reviewed and not given. It's. I've said a lot about referees. Yeah,
Yeah, you watch out. That lino that went after Andy Robertson's coming for you next.
Yeah, let him come over.
Yeah, they're fighting back. Yeah.
They're fighting back. Why can't just be good? Just be good at your job. The refereeing at the Liverpool game, by the way, for both sides was garbage. But it just seems like that's the level in the league. It's just garbage throughout. Because the Matoma one, it looks like they've given Tottenham the win. Like they want Tottenham to win that game. That's just what it looks like. I can't imagine what else it is. Maybe it just pays to have England captain Harry Kane on your ranks.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know how you look at that.
We should definitely sign him.
Yeah, if you did, you'd with Howard Webb in charge. Oh boy.
Oh, he needs to be sacked and been. He did issue a apology.
How many apologies
Brighton,
this season, man? Like.
Yeah, that's what I think they have
how
a
many
few.
to Brighton
Yeah, they have a
specifically?
few for
because
sure.
they've had like 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
Like they would genuinely be in the Champions League hunt with the amount of apologies.
Jesus.
If you could turn apologies into points,
Exactly, right?
you cash them in. Brighton would. They might be above
Little
Spurs.
old Brighton, we're just gonna step on you and tell you sorry afterwards. It's like, come on, your referees are biased, man. Fix it. But anyway, Spurs are shit.
Yeah.
You guys don't have anything to worry about. Even with all the help, they are not gonna make the top 4. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Well, I'm gonna continue to stress.
I'm sure you will.
I continue to stress until they drop enough points. Well, they do have games coming up against both Newcastle and Man United, so
And Liverpool.
if they could lose both of those, that would be fucking outstanding. I would love that.
And then Liverpool after, so it's not easy for them, for sure.
Is it Liverpool at Anfield or
At
Liverpool?
Anfield.
Okay,
Yeah.
then fair enough. They might lose that one. Let's move on to Newcastle. They beat Brentford 2-1. I think that's 5 wins in a row now for them.
It's a really good win.
They are coming into some excellent form. Ivan Toney missed a penalty for the first time since I think 2018, I believe was the stat. Then proceeded to score the next one. He's been ridiculous from penalties. That little slow walk he does to the ball, like Pope's the first goalie to read it.
And it just stares at the keeper, right? And then doesn't take his eye off the keeper. I think
Yeah.
it's his trademark.
But I think it was just a bad pen. I don't even think it's that
It was.
Pope read it.
It
right?
was.
Like it's because the second one,
He put it
Pope,
right next to Pope.
yeah, Pope reads the second one, can't save it. Like that's usually how Tony takes it. But Isaac's in, like he's really good, man. Like
stellar finish for that goal.
That was a game-changing signing for Newcastle. Getting a forward of that quality has been. He and Bruno Guimaraes.
It was game-changing for them that he managed to overcome the injury stuff that plagued his first 3 or 4 months at the club.
Yeah.
Because it's no coincidence that his return to the team has coincided with the form that they're in.
Yeah, did you see the goal he scored midweek after Fabianski went walkabout?
Yes.
Yeah, hand on hips celebration as he's watching the ball going. Both of them, hand on hips. Fabianski and Isaac. Yeah,
it's good coordination. Anytime you can coordinate your celebration with the opposing goalie, that's a job well done.
Yeah. But, I'm feeling pretty confident that Newcastle are going to make top 4, maybe even 3rd for sure. At this point, they look pretty strong right now.
It'd be crazy if Newcastle were to somehow miss out on the top 4 at this point.
I don't see it.
Given
their
that's what I mean. It'd be pretty crazy if something happened. Given their solid defense, and now that they're actually finishing chances, like you said, they have Isaac back. They're probably not. He's not going to be wasting 10 chances a game. This he's a great finisher. So.
He seems to be playing well with Callum Wilson too,
which
means that they can go 2 up top whenever they need to.
Yeah,
gives them a bit of flexibility in how they set up.
Yeah, Newcastle are in a good spot.
It's a rough week for Brentford because they've lost back-to-back games. Because they had a tough week of football because they went Brighton, Man United, Newcastle, all teams that are kind of around them. And they picked up 1 point from those games. But I mean, we're not too worried about them. They'll probably bounce back.
Yeah,
Hey,
They're still very
mid-table.
much in the hunt.
They're mid-table.
Yeah,
They're very
yeah.
much in the hunt for European
Yeah.
football, though.
Yeah, they still got Europa League potentially.
There's Chelsea mid-table, and then there's
Well, they're
Yeah,
lower.
right, yeah.
where we
They're upper
trust them.
mid-table. Chelsea are lower mid-table. Right? Are you still page 2? Yeah, you're still page 2.
We're paid. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
it's still
scroll
page
down
two.
a little bit further, all right, and then you'll get to see this. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. West London, 9, 10, 11. It's just, yeah. Well in with your rivals.
Entire region of the city just mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're all in pretty bad
this-
form too, all of us.
Speaking of bad form, Leicester losing 1-0 at home to Bournemouth. Just an absolute dagger.
None of us predicted they were going down last week. I don't think any of us did.
Yeah, I don't
so.
think we did.
But they are. I think they've been the worst team in
They're
the league
playing
this
like
season.
they're playing like a team that's going down.
I think they've been the worst team in the league, considering the quality that they have. They've conceded 52 goals. I don't know. How do you lose to Bournemouth at home? And they didn't just lose; they got battered by Bournemouth. They should have had so many more goals. I think Billing could have had a hat trick. He hit the post from a
Billing
Billing
could
could
have,
have,
one,
yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a manager at this point. They don't even have any.
Jesse Marsh has turned them down.
Yeah,
Jesse Marsh has turned them down. Like, is that bad?
yeah. Man City next.
Yeah, what's their schedule like coming up? That's a good question. Because
It's not the worst. It's just.
yeah, it's not.
It's not the.
But they do have.
But if you're losing at home to Bournemouth,
Exactly.
what fixture is safe?
That's the point.
Like,
Yeah.
where are you banking the points? Because that's what you need when you're at the bottom. You have those games where you're like, this is the one where we can bank points in. This is the one where we go hard in. This was that game. This was the game where you're like, no, we get 3 points out of this. We pull ourselves out of the relegation zone. We build from there.
They have. They
I
have.
mean, when you
Wo-
lose on like a giveaway from your best player,
from
as well,
Maddison,
like
yeah,
Madison with just a shit back pass, like, oh, I don't know where Leicester go from here.
They have. Guys. They have Wolves, Leeds, Everton after City. That's it. Like that.
That is the run that's
That
gonna
is the
decide
run
it,
that's
isn't
going to
it?
decide what's happening. For
They
sure.
have 25 points. Let's say you need 38 points to stay up. I don't see them getting 13 points from now to the end of the season. I don't know where they're going to get 13 points from. Yeah. Hey, if they go down, lots of players to buy. So, yeah.
What an arc for that team, eh? Like in this past 10 years, they go up, they win the league, they win the FA Cup, they make Champions League quarterfinals, relegated, all in like a 10-year span. That's pretty wild.
Those
if that happens.
two back-to-back seasons when they missed out on Champions League football on the last day it's been terminal for them, I think.
Yeah.
That and the fact that every time they sign a striker, it's just not it.
It's just not Jamie
Since they've
Vardy.
been signing.
No.
Yeah, it just doesn't work because they've been
Oh.
trying to replace Vardy for years now.
So
Like,
guys,
it started with what? Islam Slimani is gone through Iheanacho, Patson Daka. They're spending money on strikers and just none of them are delivering.
so David Ornstein's reporting that Leicester are in advanced talks with Dean Smith.
That's a good
That's
appointment.
good.
You don't think so? He's not bad.
I don't think he's going to keep them up. Well, he'll be a good manager to bring them back up from the championship. I don't think he'll keep them up.
We'll see.
So potentially they could have a manager
I
by
think
the next year.
because his last appointment was at Norwich and they went down, but I think a lot of that is down to the Norwich squad.
Yeah, that Norris cut was
But
brutal.
they were not like they were a disaster in the championship as well. So I don't know. It might like Dean Smith to me is just like, oh, this is preparation for all possible eventualities.
I think he's just the only coach that's available.
Yeah,
Honestly.
that could be it.
It could
yeah.
be.
Well,
Yeah.
give it to Gerrard.
Gerrard.
I mean, speaking of Gerrard, let's talk about Aston Villa. They beat Forest 2-0. They're up to 6th in the table. Like, Villa are gunning for a European spot. Unai Emery, he's got that Europa League scent in his nostrils again, and he's just ready, raring for it. You can't keep that man out of the UEL.
And apparently you can't keep Ollie Watkins
Unai
from
Emery
scoring
League.
either, because the man just keeps
Ollie
scoring.
Watkins is on just a crazy run of goals at this point, especially away from home.
Yeah, and Villa just this shows you how shit Gerrard was, man. that Emery's taken this squad to these.
Yeah,
these
it would be
heights.
real embarrassing if someone referred to Gerrard as the most exciting young manager in world football.
I could not imagine. Yeah. What is he commentating now, Gerrard? Is that what he's doing? What's he doing? He's just
Hopefully he is hiding in a bunker underground away from any and every Aston Villa supporter.
You know, there was a time he was linked with Poland a couple of months ago before we hired Santos.
Yeah, we
he was
remember.
linked to the Poland job.
Heavily,
Remember that?
We remember.
Fuck me, like, my God.
Yeah.
But,
Putting Gerrard in with the Polish national team just sounds like a disaster that I'd love to see.
I mean, Santos is already a disaster, but it would. Oh yeah, it's Villa is for me, like, you know, if Emery's up there for, like, in terms of managers this season, he's up there. What he's done with Villa, they've been pretty phenomenal. To be in sixth place now after where they were before he came in, no, it's a fantastic job.
Emery is good at one thing, I would say, and that's getting his gunman to score goals. Like, everywhere he's gone, his strikers have generally been liberated to score goals. Aubameyang and Lacazette, actually, they had a really good run under him. And Ollie Watkins looks like a completely different player this season under Emery. But as I told you guys earlier, those underlying metrics are not great. They are currently in 12th for underlying metrics. So watch this space on that. I've seen this story before several times, and usually ends in one way, and that's in tears. So yeah.
For this season, they're safe.
Just wait until they qualify for the Europa League and win it next season.
You know, Tony, you've spoken Lacazette. I remember seeing he's got a good scoring record this season for
He
Lyon.
does.
Actually,
It's not a great advert for that league, but yeah.
No, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
I knew it.
He's doing well there. Yeah, it's strange. Like, I'm looking at the top scorers. I'm seeing Kylian Mbappe. I'm seeing, like, Lacazette. I'm seeing Folarin Balogun. I'm just like, okay, something's not right. But yeah,
One of these is not like the others.
Jonathan David's top scorer right now.
Yeah, he's still top.
Jonathan David is doing well.
Yeah.
But let's quickly move on to Fulham 0, West Ham 1. Own goal. Possibly saving David Moyes' job, if I'm going to be honest. He's the one guy that I'm shocked has not been sacked yet this season. They are now up to 14th, 3 points clear of the relegation zone. And that's just a win that they desperately needed.
Yeah.
Like, they'll take them however they can come.
Yeah, 2 of their last 3 now, big wins. So they may have kind of steered in the right direction. But 3 points, man. That's what I said. They got 2 wins last 3, but it's only 3 points.
It could flip next weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the state of this relegation battle. And speaking of that relegation battle, I guess we'll close it out with Leeds 1, Crystal Palace 5. And now I have a bone to pick with Leeds. Because how, in a game where they were 1-0 up, lest we forget, until the stroke of half-time, how have you let Jordan fucking Ayew score 2 goals? He has double the amount of goals he has this season in one game. Not even in one game, in the span of about 10 second half minutes.
The disrespect.
This is Jordan Ayew deserves
This
no
is
respect.
Pele's son, man. This is Pele's son. The disrespect. Yeah?
And that's the best thing he's ever achieved.
Pele's son. I mean, yeah.
This is a team
I need to have a word with Abedi Pele on how he's raised this boy.
Yeah.
is this the same team that went 3 games without having a shot on target, right, under
Roy
Vieira,
the boy is
and
back.
then Roy comes in and they've
Roy
got
the boy.
5.
I want to know what he does or what he says. Like, honestly, I
Nothing about him
doesn't-
indicates that this is gonna.
he doesn't look like he can still coach anymore at this. Like, what does he do that liberates these players? Honestly, especially Crystal. It's always Crystal Palace. Like, no matter what's going on in the city, all roads lead back to Uncle Roy Hodgson, and he always just seems to get them out of
He
trouble.
delivers for
It's-
Palace. Like, he will always guide them to 12th in the table. Anything could be happening around him. The world could end. It could be a nuclear holocaust, and Hodgson will somehow get Palace to like 12th in the table.
Guys get
He
Are
might.
they 12th in the table right now?
Are they 12th?
They are 12th
They are
in the
12th,
table.
yeah.
But it's just
He must. I think he must just have. He's got his template set. You know what I mean?
What is the
This is
template?
the training. He
What
is
is the
same. I don't know what it is, but he has it.
doesn't
He has
matter.
all his wording is there, and he comes in. He's like, okay, you guys know what's gonna happen. You guys know Joe. All right, back to Roy's.
No, but
back
like,
to Roy's
if you
way.
look at this team compared to when Hodgson last left Palace. This is a completely different team because they had a lot of turnover after he left. They basically had to rebuild the entire squad, and they brought in the players of
Ayew and Zaha.
Maybe it's in the
It's a
training.
complete, other than fucking Ayew,
Zaha.
who just
Yeah.
will not go
And
away.
Zaha.
Did Zaha play this game? I don't know if he.
I think he's injured.
Zaha didn't even play this game.
Maybe it's in the grounds. They just have this is the Roy Hodgson template. All right, it's written in stone somewhere in the on
Just
the
a
walls or
stone
something like
tablet
that.
in the middle of the stadium.
Yeah.
7
Alright,
goals
this is
in
our
2
fallback.
games. It's just crazy. They had how many shots? 16 shots in this game. It's just, yeah, he is one of a kind, Uncle Roy. But yeah, it's weird. It's just
He's the perfect emergency manager.
he
for
might as
Palace.
well just stay there. Honestly,
Yeah.
like he'll be back. So what's
Wait,
the point?
how do we know he doesn't just live there anyways right
No,
now?
I'm,
And that's-
he definitely does. He lives. He lives in
Owl-looking man he's just sitting up in the rafters somewhere.
Probably lives in Croydon
Waiting
or
to
something.
swoop down.
Yeah, somewhere in South London, just down the street. Yeah, it's just.
I guess retirement life is just not for him. He's just not. He needs a little bit of work to do. He's bored maybe.
He's like Van Hal with the Netherlands job. Just keeps coming back.
Yeah. Except he actually
well.
does a good job.
Yeah.
Did we catch all the games? Or any more that we missed?
Yeah, that is just about. I'm sorry, I'm still just mentally recovering from seeing Jordan Ayew score twice in a weekend.
All right, if you're gonna mention
not
Jordan
right. It's
Ayew,
not good.
if you're gonna mention Jordan Ayew this much, then there has to be an Olivier Giroud mention.
We need
and there
Olivier
it is.
Giroud. That's what we
There
need.
it
We need
is.
more
All right.
Olivier Giroud on our screens. I mean, Champions League is coming back. We'll get to see him with Milan against
Oh,
Napoli,
yeah, that's right.
and it'll cleanse the palate a little bit.
Have you guys seen
You know what?
Roy Hodgson's managerial CV? Like the number of jobs is crazy, man.
insane.
It's
Wasn't he at
crazy.
Juve?
It's
Wasn't he
all
at
over
Juve
the
one
place
time?
as well.
Or is it
Like,
Inter?
No, it was at
he's coaching in like
Udinese.
Switzerland and stuff.
Yeah, Switzerland. He's right, like all sorts of UAE, Copenhagen, Grasshoppers. Like, oh, he was at Inter caretaker. Like
He was at Inter. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Blackburn's manager.
I think he coached Roberto Carlos. Roberto Carlos was at Inter. Just outstanding.
The man-
Just
The
outstanding.
man has
treasure
worked,
Roy
man.
Hodgson.
He has worked. Yeah, no wonder his freaking template works. It's yeah.
Oh my god. With the news of just the memory of Roy Hodgson having coached Roberto Carlos, it's fresh in my mind. I think that's a good spot to leave things. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
All right. Cheers, guys. Pleasure as always.
Hey, the only way is up from here, Tommy. Hey, smile a bit.
Oh,
Be happy.
for me, that's right. You're exactly right.
Only way is up.
No, it's not.
Uh,
There's still plenty of bottom to fall to. Yeah.
No, no. I don't. If you don't watch, the only way is up.
True. Thank you for joining me, Tony.
Yeah. Good stuff, boys. As always, enjoyed the chat.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.